Healing means returning to the memory of wholeness. So that's what we'll be looking into today in our Healing Qigong class. For those of you who may be new to Qigong, Qigong is the art and science of developing your own potential. It's the art and science of striving to elevate yourself. It's a science because it's measurable. This is in the world of medical Qigong, what I teach. I am not a Chinese doctor or a doctor of any other kind. And yet Qigong has many different expressions in our world. On one side, there's martial arts, kung fu, and self-defense, where an internal connection to your energy allows you to achieve great feats of strength and agility. On the martial side, there's the spiritual side of Qigong, which strives for enlightenment or immortality, these more esoteric yet deeply vital ideas of what we're here for. And then there's the side of medical Qigong, which is, okay, here we are, we have a body, we have a mind. Let's see how we can relieve ourselves of stress and of tension so that we can step into the highest expression of who and what we are today. So it's a science. Qigong is a science in that it's measurable. You can go to the doctor, you can measure your electrical fields. There's all kinds of things that can be measured in your body. There's been no end of experiments of yoga teachers, Qigong teachers, meditators, where they wire them up in a lab and explore and feel what it is that they really are experiencing. It's measurable, the results of this. And it's an art in that it takes a lifetime to learn, and the application of Qigong in your life is going to look different than for somebody else. So a practice that you need today might look different than the practice that someone else might need, and it might look different for you tomorrow. And the most important key factor in Qigong, same as with yoga, same as with meditation, is to give yourself some time to practice, to explore, to do it. It's a doing. The body needs to move. The body needs to stretch. One of my teachers gave me this analogy. A moving hinge will never rust. Right? It will never rust. So today we'll be touching in on the quantum level. We call this quantum healing Qigong, to bring in the memory that that there's something deep, there's something permanent, there's something real, there's something that can't be affected by the things of this world, our soul. And our soul doesn't need healing, it needs to be remembered. And yet on the practical level, on the physical level, we have aches and pains. Things get ouchy, things get tight, things get sore. And it's very difficult to go through our life when we've got some pretty substantial pains in our body. My first spiritual teacher was Thich Nhat Hanh, reading his books. And I remember one of his meditations was the meditation of not having a toothache, right? The meditation on not having a toothache. And remember, what's that like? If you're here today and you don't have a toothache, there's a portal, there's an access point to remembering that there's a way of being, that there's an imprint on our physicality that isn't affected by these things of life, that isn't affected by the pains, that isn't affected by the ache. So we remember that. And then there are parts in our body where we are sore, where we are tight. And every single day, we give some time, some space to loosen that up. So this healing Qigong can be practiced in as little as 15 minutes. It's really, really beautiful to give yourself that time and that space. So I thank each and every one of you for giving yourself time and space today. We take a little bit more on our Sunday mornings. Class today will be about 40 minutes long, and we'll have some time for some quiet or for some Q&A afterwards. And as we go through these movements, please allow yourself to find your yes or your no. I'll be making lots of suggestions. And if something doesn't feel great for you, then just let it pass. There's absolutely no purpose in pushing yourself in the healing Qigong. The healing Qigong is about dropping into what feels good and what feels natural and just showing up today, just showing up for this class. You've already said yes to the possibility of some relief from pain, of some expansion into clarity in your mind, and of some feeling, some movement in your emotional body and your hearts. All of that will come through in class today.